Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Photoshop and Illustrator Unleashed. My name is Ivan Witteborg. I'm one of the TAs here. We are going to jump into the Change It exercise. So let's go ahead and pull up some exercises on that. First up, we have Colin. We're going to open up his Billabong exercise. One thing I wanted to say is it would be helpful for everybody if you were able to export JPEGs or PNGs of your final boards or exercises with your project files. So therefore I can pull them up a little bit easier, and in case there's some issues with Photoshop versions or files not being in the right place, everything comes up the way that it should. I don't think I ran into that many issues with this round, but just future case, it makes it a little bit easier for critiquing. All right, Colin, we're jumping into the Billabong board here. First off, wanted to say great job with the cutout of the model here. Really great job. You got the hair down really well. The edges look very crisp. I love the contrast that you have with the background and the midground and the foreground. That was something that I saw a lot with some of the boards, was the background was just as vibrant and as busy as the foreground, and there wasn't enough contrast between the content and the background. But you did a really great job with that. Really clear to see the Billabong logo, really clear to see their little tagline here. Great job on that. Next up is his earshot board. You did an awesome job with the cutout of the chicken. I know that's a really tricky one to do, and the gradient that you have in the background is really nice. Good color, reflects the chicken well. I'm not sure if it's the stock photo of the headphones, but these look maybe a little bit too manipulated with the puppet tool. Or maybe they're just a weird looking set of headphones, but maybe trying to do a little bit less manipulation on there so to make it look as convincing and natural as possible. And the earshot logo gets a little bit hard to read here because it's going into a little bit of a low contrast zone with the orange background, but awesome job in the earshot there. I love the unique approach with the Cornzall board here. You got a really nice glow here in the background. The text is glowing. Everything just feels very glowy, very heavenly. I really like that. I'd say maybe you could move this text block down a little bit just so we can have a little bit more breathing room in our margins. I think it's really nice to have that so that the content isn't spread out too much, that we have a clustered kind of, we know where to look, where you're guiding our eye. So maybe pulling this down just a little bit would help us give just some more breathing room there. Give a little bit more space on the board. But awesome job with these boards, Colin. Next up, we have Dana, and first up is the Billabong board here. Dana did an awesome job with the cutout of the model and gave a good overlay on the background to kind of intensify that contrast to make this a little bit more readable. I think it's still a little bit hard to read, and that may be just with the sharp lines of the text and the sharp lines of the background. Maybe having this blurred a little bit would help be able to read that a little bit more. I think the Billabong logo here is pretty readable. It gets a little bit harder over here because the background's a little bit white. So maybe darkening this up a little bit, maybe blurring it over here would help. But really great job with the model. The hair is looking really good. Next up is the Cornzall board from Dana. I really love just the simple background texture that you have here. It's very clean. It reflects the Cornzall can and sleek brand with that, and the kind of embossed edges that you have here work really well. I would say that I feel like the mouth here is a little bit too close to the bottom margin. So again, maybe adding a little bit more space here, maybe bringing this up just a little bit, and maybe bringing this content down just a little bit to give some breathing room around our content and kind of have it a little more clustered together. For Dana's earshot board, she added a really great background. I really love what that's doing. You did a great job cutting out the headphones and the chicken. I would say that maybe a little bit of color correction on the chicken would help with these. The white highlights here don't fit in with the scene as much. So maybe if it was a little bit tinted red, would help tie it in with the background. Or if you had a white background, I think that would make it fit in a lot better. But great contrast here with the Earshot logo and the text here. Awesome job, Dana. Next up is Pearl with her Billabong board. I think this is one of the strongest assignments with contrast between the Live Life Unlimited and the background. I know that's a bit difficult thing to do with such a busy background, but really blurring that, giving it a nice overlay, makes this so much easier to read, and I hope you guys are able to see that. Really awesome job cutting out the model. The hair looks great. Really well-defined edges. The Bing Bong logo, I just realized I've been saying Billabong, but the Bing Bong logo here is very readable, very clear. Great job on that one. For the Earshot one, really awesome job. I love the clean white background. I think that makes it a little bit easier for the cutout of the chicken to blend in a little bit more because the white highlights are already there. You're not needing to alter that. I do think that the headphones are a little bit overstretched, but it does fit in well. I think you cut it out nicely and fit it in with the chicken really nicely. So awesome job on that, Pearl. That's it for the Change It exercise, guys. Awesome job. I love what I'm seeing out there. Keep up the great work. Keep moving along. You just had a great week off. Come back full force. Can't wait to see you guys next time on the dojo.